Hey, it's Mike Hambright with FlipNerd.com. Welcome back for another exciting expert interview where I interview awesome guests from the real estate investing industry to help you learn and hopefully inspire you. Just another quick reminder of the REI Power Summit that's coming up. It's going to be one of the largest online real estate investing events ever. In fact, online, I think it'll be the largest event ever. It's 100% virtual, so you can watch it in your boxers in the middle of the night if you want to, if you can't join us live. And you're going to get access for 12 months. So even if you miss something, if we have multiple speakers at the same time, you'll have access to that for 12 months. So far we have at least 50 just fantastic speakers, and in fact, including my guest on the show today. Lots of great vendors that can help you in your business, lots of lenders, and a lot of other folks. So check out reipowersummit.com. Today I'm joined by my friend Cory Boatright. Cory is a second timer now. He's been on the show before. I think it was about 200 episodes ago, though. And so we've all gotten much smarter. We're more handsome now. There's plenty of reasons that we had to have Cory back. But Cory's a successful real estate investor, a mentor and coach, and has a lot of great experience, even outside of real estate investing. He's very entrepreneurial. And for those that know Cory, he is always ahead of the curve from a technology standpoint. We'll start to talk about something, and he's like, check this site out, check this out. Look what these guys are doing. And so he really is always ahead of the curve. The interesting thing that we were talking about before the show is Facebook. How much all of us use it. We use it a ton. I don't even want to say how much I use it, more than I should, and I know Cory does too. It's really a bit of a surprise, though, that in the real estate investing space that more of us aren't using it for our business. I think a lot of people have figured out how to use it, obviously, for personal reasons, but not necessarily in their business. But Cory knows better than that. He's ahead of us once again. So today we're going to talk about how to use Facebook for finding buyers, sellers, and even money. And before we get started with Cory, though, let's take a moment to recognize our featured sponsors. RealtyMogul.com is an online marketplace for real estate investing, connecting borrowers and capital from accredited and institutional investors. Get a rehab loan fast and close in as little as 10 days with rates starting as low as 9%. For more information, call 888-296-1697. B2R Finance makes loans tailored specifically for rental investors. They can help you unlock equity from existing properties so you can get cash out to grow your rental portfolio. That's huge and opens up lots of opportunities previously not available to rental investors. Need a loan? Call 855-819-4412 or visit b2rfinance.com today. AceBusinessFunding.com can help you get up to $150,000 in revolving credit lines to fund your business with rates as low as 0% for the first 12 to 18 months. Use the funds for startup costs, marketing, inventory, or almost anything your business needs. If you can't get funding, you don't pay a dime. Get funds for your business today at acebusinessfunding.com. We'd also like to thank Colony American Finance, National Real Estate Insurance Group, and virtualstaffnow.com. Please note, the views and opinions expressed by the individuals in this program do not necessarily reflect those of FlipNerd.com or any of its partners, advertisers, or affiliates. Please consult professionals before making any investment or tax decisions, as real estate investing can be risky. Hey, Cory, welcome back to the show.
What's going on, Mike?
Yeah, good to see you, my friend. It's kind of interesting, isn't it? Like, there's so many of us that are social media, addicts on some level. Yeah. But it's just become, it hasn't really been for business purposes. Of course, people can advertise on Facebook and Twitter and pretty much every social media platform now, but I don't know very many real estate investors that have, for example, that have figured out really how to use it in their business. So I'm excited to talk about it today. Yeah,
it's pretty powerful. And you're right. Many people use Facebook just to goof off. They realize how powerful it could be for a marketing tool. Then I think they'd perk up a little bit more. And you're starting to see, I think, this come out a little bit, but certainly still in the closet per se. And, we're doing more experimenting with it and seeing some pretty powerful results.
Yeah.
And so it's pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm glad to dive in today. Hey, for those that don't know you that well or think they know you, but they maybe not know you well enough yet, kind of tell us your background and how you got to where you are today.
Sure. My name is Cory Boatright. Thanks for having me on again, Mike. Awesome show, Flip Nerd, and just seeing you grow. It's been awesome. Also being a part of our mastermind, Collective Genius, which is great. So I'm the founder of our Real Estate Investing Profits and also Phenomenal Results Coaching. And I've been investing, gosh, since I was 21 years old. I'm 39 now, so that would be 18 years if my math is right.
We're getting old, man.
We're getting old, right? I got involved whenever basically there was just this opportunity was there to do a lot with real estate investing, but it wasn't obvious on which direction to go. There's a lot of things that you can do. You can go do lease options. You can do, you can do wholesaling. You can do fix and flip. You can do whatever. And I started to really make my mark in short sales back in 2008, 2009. Mm-hmm. I kind of was just playing as an investor up to that point, just learning everything, assigning some deals, doing some flipping, and had like a skeleton rehab crew. But it wasn't until about 2008, 2009, I started to really get involved with short sales, and that changed everything. When I made the most money on a single transaction that had no equity, and that just blew my mind that was even possible.
Yeah.
And then I started marketing only for short sales and rode that bandwagon for, I'd say from 2008, 2009, all the way up to probably 2012, probably right in there, 2012, mm-hmm. maybe at the beginning of 2013.
Yeah. And
then there was a lot of other things happening. There was making it harder to short sell. That was more red tape, as you know. In the beginning, you could just get a BPO low and buy the property, flip it, no big deals. Then you had to be more creative, do option agreements. Excuse me, I'm get a drink of water.
Yeah.
You had to do option agreements, and then you did land trusts. And so I went through that kind of phase, and then we ended up actually getting involved with. Excuse me one second.
That's all right. While you're catching your breath there, through that, that's like a 4-gallon bottle of water. By the way, for those that are listening, you can't see the size. That's like the biggest water bottle I've ever seen in my life. It's not like a gallon.
Level on this. The alkaline level is incredible.
Yeah. So hey, I want you, as you're kind of taking a drink there, think about, it'll be interesting to talk about too, about just kind of mixing in how you had how to like not get kind of typecast, if you will. Like you get a specialty, and then a lot of people that were in short sales, they were riding high for a long time, and then then that kind of went away, and a lot of people weren't necessarily prepared. It's almost like they knew it was going to end, but they weren't prepared for what to do next. But anyway, I thought I'd kind of throw that in and see if you can kind of respond on.
Right. Well,
for people even going forward, not necessarily you, but just going forward, how to kind of keep your ear to the ground about what's around the corner.
Right. Well, you do need to make sure that you're paying attention to the market. You always the market's always changing.
Yeah.
And, a wise man once said that whenever, you have a headache, it sucks for you, but fantastic for Tylenol.
Yeah.
And really that's what short sales was. It sucked for a lot of people, but if you had the specialized knowledge on how to capitalize on some of those opportunities, it was great.
Yeah.
And we ended up actually creating a software to make it easier. Did really well with that software, and just really did, kind of full service, if you will, for short sales. Had a loss mitigation company for several years that we ran. Had a senior loss mitigator that worked for a bank that was doing all of our transactions. At one point, we had 220, 230 short sales in the hopper. I mean, a lot of deals.
Yeah.
And working with students all around the country for this. But as you said, the market shifted and it changed. And we also needed to be, aware of what's going on there. And as that happened, I was just realizing that there was easier ways to make money in real estate than just in short sales. There's just easier ways. For example, wholesaling, which is flipping the contract. A lot of people think wholesaling is flipping houses, but you're just flipping the contract. That was a lot simpler method to be able to make a good chunk of money, as long as you knew how to find great deals.
Yeah.
Right. It all comes down to marketing.
Right.
And this is the part that most people miss. And I know you know this is true, being a marketer yourself, is whenever you're going out there and you're marketing, looking for deals, you have to do it more than just once.
Right.
Right. You have to do, like, if you're doing direct mail, you have to direct mail 4, 5, 6, 7, sometimes 8 times, right? And you've got to continue that process. You got to continue hitting that list of prospects, because most people are, I think the number is like 80% of the people are going to respond around the like 5th or 6th time of a touch point, right? Yeah. So marketing is crucial. And along the way, I was doing a lot of learning about marketing and getting better at it. And I found a way that you can find great deals on properties online, right? It wasn't just doing direct mail. You could do it online. There was a lot of different resources that you could go and you could find great deals. For example, Craigslist. And at the time, I know now it's just kind of common knowledge, but at the time, a lot of people weren't doing much with Craigslist.
Yeah.
And you were finding incredible deals on Craigslist. Also, Google pay-per-click. A lot of people weren't doing much with Google pay-per-click. They thought that was just for, for other types of businesses, right? Not for real estate. And, we were doing pretty well on Google pay-per-click campaigns. Yep. So, just this idea of finding great deals online has always been there. And it's just a point of leverage, right, Mike? Like you can just leverage the internet so much because there's just the audience is so broad.
Yeah.
Well,
that consistent advertising, what you're saying with direct mail, for example, the analogy that I give sometimes is this will resonate with everybody. Like, how often do you buy a new mattress?
Right.
Like, not very often, but you get stuff in the mail like every day. I don't know if you, this is how Dallas is. There's a lot of cities that are like this. It's like, you'll drive down, in a mile stretch and there's like 5 mattress companies. Like what are all these mattress companies doing? Well, first off, they're extremely high margin, clearly. But secondly, they know that, especially with flyers and stuff they keep sending in your house, just like car tires, like you don't need that very often. But when you do need it like right now. And so the key is kind of being recency, right? It's just like this recency phenomenon. It's just like just being there. If you just send a message out here and there, you might have mixed results. But unless you're consistently advertising, and you're not right there when that person, finally makes that decision, they needed to sell the house 5 years ago, but today is the day. If you're not top of mind and you're not there and you didn't market to them at that point, then you're going to miss out.
One of the best marketing strategies that I've ever used is be memorable. Be memorable. Have something that stands out, right? One of the things that we used with black envelopes, right? Black envelopes with silver writing on it. I mean, you get that in the mail, you're going to open that up.
Yeah.
Okay. No one sends black envelopes, right? So just be memorable and think outside the box a little bit, and you can pick up deals that otherwise, just because everyone else is sending a postcard of this, that you can stand out, right? Yeah. And so with the internet, how do you stand out on the internet? When there's so many people, how do you stand out? Well, you apply the same concept. You have to be memorable, right? So one of the ads that we had that was doing well was like just a picture of a face, just like angry, right? And that caught someone's attention, right? And it just said, "Sell your house. Or you're too frustrated to keep your house, sell it today. Too frustrated to keep your house, sell it today." And it was just this frustration. And what we realized from, there's a book called Influence by Robert Cialdini, and it's a great book. And it talks about how the psychology of people relating with another face, right? I mean, obviously Facebook is called Facebook for a reason. People relate with other people that they see.
Yeah.
So the highest converting pictures that you're going to find that we found is a way where people are involved in that picture. So if it's a product that for a house, you want to show someone, a mom and a dad, maybe a kid, all hugging together with a house, right? So you're showing exactly what someone wants, right? You're conveying the emotion. So whenever you go to look at a picture, like there's a great website called pictureservant.com. It's just a way that we've worked with a company called Dollar Photos. But if you just type in a word of an emotion there, you can find awesome images, like high quality images you'd have to pay several $100s for that you can pick up for $1.
Yeah.
And you can use these images and test them on Facebook. And I didn't realize that it was so easy to get feedback, because it's one thing to add in pictures on Facebook and advertise, but how do you get feedback?
Right.
Well, on Facebook, they've made it incredibly easy. Not only have they made it incredibly easy, they've made it where they want you to get more clicks because it helps them get more money from you, right? They even created this thing called a relevance score now, Mike, that if your ads that you're putting out there isn't like above a 5 or a 6, like they're not going to show it as much because they want it to be relevant to the audience that you're advertising to. So how do you do that? Well, one of the ways that that you can do this that many people don't realize is that you can go onto Facebook and you can create what's called a business Facebook page. Okay, a business Facebook page. And anything I'm talking about right now, you can simply go on to YouTube and type in how to set up a business Facebook page, and you'll have probably 50 videos. Look at the one with the highest rating, and it'll give you pretty much the gist of what I'm getting ready to tell you.
Yeah.
So you create a business Facebook page, and once you have that, then what you can do is you can actually advertise on your business Facebook page, which is important because you want to keep everything on Facebook, okay, advertise-wise. When they click it on the link on Facebook and it can go to your website, that's fine. But you don't want to run an ad where it's just they click that little image and it doesn't go to Facebook. It goes off to your site. Does that make sense? So you want to keep it on Facebook because if you don't, Facebook is not going to basically reward you for it. And why would they? Right. They want to reward people that are going to take you to your business page first, all right? And then they might see something else here. That's what Facebook's counting on. But while they're there, they'll probably click the little link that you have on your ad.
So you run an ad and you take them to maybe a tab on your business profile page.
Yeah, you could have a tab, but really you just run it in your feed. So you just want to run it in your feed. And you want to put the image where it's real obvious. And there's a place that you can go that's called Canva.com.
Yeah.
Canva.com. Actually, it's important that you go to either Canva or somewhere else that you can upload an image and it makes the exact size, which is real important, Mike, that you put on your Facebook to advertise. Because if you put just an image from somewhere else, then and it's not sized correctly, it's not going to give you the amount of real estate that you want, which you want the most amount of real estate when you advertise. What we're doing here is we're going to advertise your ad that you posted on Facebook where someone clicks on it and then all of a sudden it starts showing up in their feed. Okay, so it shows up in their feed, just like we check our Facebook and you see different things showing up in your feed. At some point, you might have clicked on something that said that Facebook's saying you most likely would be interested in XYZ, right? And that's how they're tracking. And I mean, Facebook knows people better than anyone.
Sure.
So what we do is really simple, is you can actually get on Facebook and you can go into what's called Audience Insights. So Audience Insights is, again, going into YouTube, typing in what is Audience Insights or how to use Audience Insights. That's the easiest way to get a lesson for you, but I can tell you what it does. It's basically like the hub for Facebook on them telling you everything that's going on their relevancy for marketing, for demographics, for psychographics. You're talking about your gender. You're talking about anything you can think of whenever the person that is most likely to click on your ad, what does that customer avatar look like? Right. And so what age are they? Okay. Well, you can go in and you can see, well, people that are under 25 years old aren't clicking your ads on these type of buy houses, sell houses, private money. You can pretty much go all the way up to about 30 years of age.
Yeah.
And from 30 all the way up to about 60 or 55 to 60 is going to be your sweet spot in there. Okay. Then you'll also notice that most of our market are gender men, mostly men, not very many women
that are buyers or sellers.
Well, they're not clicking on these ads as much. So most of the time, your market that you're advertising to, they're mostly men. They're not women that are clicking on these type of ads. Okay. For like private money, for example.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can see that.
Yeah.
So how about talk about for sellers? Because
sure,
in my experience, a seller could be anyone.
Right.
Somebody just inherited a house.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and
elderly,
here's what you want to do is Facebook allows something called ad sets. Okay. So you have campaigns and then you have ad sets, and then you can test different ad sets, if you will. Like if you were selling a pair of shoes, okay, your campaign would be Nike shoes, let's just say, for example. Okay. And then your ad set would be blue Nike shoes, and then red Nike shoes, and then black Nike shoes, right? And then you could have 5 different images or 6 different images per ad set. 6 different images of a blue shoe, 6 different images of a red shoe, 6 different images of whatever, black shoe. And Facebook's going to tell you of those different images which one is pulling the most.
Yep.
And it's also going to tell you what your relevancy is, okay? Which you want it above a 5 for it to be shown a lot.
Yeah.
Then you can also go in there, and there's all these different parameters inside of when you go to run an ad. I know you can't see a screen right now, but when you go in to run an ad, you can choose if someone owns a home, for example. You can choose how long they've owned a home, Mike. You can choose how much money that they are in, what category of income that they're in. Okay. You can choose if they get the Barron report, if they get Reuter, if they get Fortune magazine, if they get the Robb report.
You can do all that within Facebook. You're saying
you can choose within Facebook all these different parameters of. You can choose if they're in the military. Pretty awesome to actually go in and target people that have been in the military. Now, is it 100% perfect? No, but even if it's 50% perfect, how great is that?
Yeah,
how great is that we can
it's far better than TV advertising or direct mail.
I mean, it's the most targeted type of lead that you can get anywhere today. Anybody will tell you right now. And then what Facebook also offers is something that's called retargeting. Now, retargeting is actually going to give you about another 20 to 30% more return visitors on that ad. Now, what does it do is let's say, for example, you probably heard of this, but if you haven't, let's say you went on to Amazon. You're on Amazon and you click on a pair of shoes. Then you click off Amazon. Then you click on another website, and all of a sudden, these pair of shoes seems like they're following you on the right-hand side, right? It's like these shoes are stalking you or something. Right? Well, what that's called is retargeting. Whenever you clicked on that shoe in Amazon, it put what's called a pixel on your browser, on your Chrome or your Internet Explorer or your Firefox or it put it on your browser, okay, on your Safari. And now they have an agreement that ad space will be showing that ad for that shoe. It's going to follow you around because it works great for the company that is offering the ability to do it, because you're most likely to buy something that you just clicked on.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's perfect. So how do you use this for real estate investing? Well, what you can do is you can create these retargeting campaigns. So when people click on these different ads, your ad of that house can start chasing people around just like the pair of shoes.
Sure. Yeah.
And doesn't cost you anything extra whenever they click on that ad, that house, to come back there from a retargeting campaign.
Yeah.
Plus, you can control the pages. So you can control not only what they're clicking on, but you can control the retargeting campaign. So you could say something like, hey, you only got 5 days left to get the house and get the big screen TV or whatever you want to have on your ad.
Right. And
it can change. That retargeting campaign can change for you.
Yeah.
So those are pretty powerful things to do that. To do that. So how would you use this in a way where you know where your audience is? The way you do this where you know where your audience is you just type in Google, go into Google and type in some keyword that you think is relevant to your market. For example, if you're looking at private money, well, where do you think private money hangs out? Equity trust is one, right?
Yep.
Where else would private money hang out?
It might be if you're local, they could be members of a country club or
country club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Follow the money.
Follow the money, right? So now you can go in and you can target most of these places on Google. If they're showing up on the first 1 to 2 pages on Google, they're probably going to have a Facebook page.
Sure.
Okay. So then you can target these people that like that page.
Right.
So you could target all of them. So now you've got a laser targeted campaign. You can split it into ad sets. So you could say country club, equity trust, CPA. You can start creating these different ad sets and see which one pulls the best for you.
Yeah. And the psychology of that stuff is that you start to, subconsciously at least, when you keep seeing something, you're like, this is like a sign. It's like, well, it's starting more than ever to become, no, it's just scientific marketing. But, you know what I mean? If you keep seeing something, you're like, somebody is telling me that I need to do that, right? And so, more than ever, that could just be, good
right.
marketing.
It just kind of seems like, it's like, I see that somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it can be very, very powerful. It's not that expensive. Whenever you go in to test this, it can cost you $10 a day to test.
Yeah.
Not very expensive at all. And your conversions are going to be much, much less than what they are right now. I promise you. We're talking about like under $1,000 and many times under $500 if you really get this thing dialed in correctly. And even on a click, you're talking about anywhere from 30 to 50 cents a click. And it can be even less than that the more relevant you are and the more your relevant score is higher for Facebook. So you can drive a ton of traffic, get a ton of qualified people, and it gets better. All these people that are liking your image, you're liking your page, what you can do, Mike, is you can go into that person and send them a private message.
Oh, wow.
You can say, hey, you looked at this house, this one's sold right now, or hey, you need to contact me if you're interested, and you can send a private message to that person. And sometimes you get a couple of hundred likes.
Sure.
Right? And that's and you don't have to do this. You can have a virtual assistant do it. You can have your assistant do it. I'm not saying that you necessarily have to go do that, but this is a way that you can get engaged with the people. You can maximize what your advertising dollars are. And it doesn't cost a lot of money to do this. And really, it's not hard to do.
Yeah. That's awesome. Hey, Cory, while we're kind of on the topic of Facebook, we have a little bit of time here left, not a few more minutes. Maybe you could take a couple minutes and just talk about, there's a lot of people that are listening to this that are probably already part of a Facebook group that's like a real estate focused group. But maybe just since we're on the topic of, obviously real estate investing because you're on my show, and Facebook, talk about groups and how people might be able to use those differently than what they are today.
Yeah. So with the real estate groups that are out there, I mean, you're talking about ways that you can get in touch with different investors in your local area, right? Yeah. So you can create these. One thing we're doing right now is a meetup group, which is pretty powerful. But what you can do is you can actually you can create a Facebook meetup group. Right, which we don't see a lot of people doing this yet, which is pretty wild to me. But
say it again,
you can create a Facebook meetup group because most people think that outside of online, so it's an offline activity, right? You're meeting up, you're physically talking to people. Hey, what's up? But you can take the offline to the online, right? That's what we're doing. So instead of just going offline and meeting up while we're there, we said, how many people would like to have a private Facebook group where only the people that showed up at the meetup group, now they can get an invite to come into the private Facebook group. Yeah. And now you create an incredible amount of engagement. And a lot of things just churn from this too. Whenever you do a meetup group, you have some authority in that space that you're in. And rightly so. You're teaching things that work, right? I'm not talking, this is not going to work for someone that wants to hold everything to their chest. I'm a believer in, serving others, co-opetition instead of competition. That's been the biggest way for things in my life have opened up the best relationships, the best synergy. Yep. I mean, you're a believer in this too. So these meetup groups can be really, really powerful, but you want to be able to engage in there and have the community start to engage with one another. Sure. Yeah. And then it starts to grow. They start posting on their pages. They start posting on their Twitter, and it just starts to grow naturally.
Yeah, the cool thing about online groups like that are One of the challenges that traditional real estate clubs have, which we're a huge fan of RIA clubs, but they usually have a meeting at just after work.
Right.
Where there's traffic to get there, you're taking time away from your family, like all these things. It's just not that convenient to do after work stuff,
Right.
And so now it's like, hey, after the kids are in bed, get on here and interact a little bit, or in the middle of the night you can't sleep, or when you're on your lunch break or whatever, you kind of interact as you can,
Right.
And also, a lot of traditional RIA clubs have, so a lot of them just have one meeting a month, like a general meeting. So it's like, well, if you miss that, you can interact 365 days a year.
Exactly. And it's so easy to create a public or a private, or even I think it's called a closed Facebook, where only certain, but we did a private one. We want to be able to have people that showed up at the group to be able to come in and join in that group. So it's been working on gangbusters. We have one a month, and it's exciting that it's starting to grow, and we've had a lot of people have positive things to say about it. So if you're on a meetup group, Mike, if you're on meetup.com and you're in Oklahoma City area, it's Oklahoma City Real Estate Wholesaler Network. Oklahoma City Real Estate Wholesaler Network on meetup.com, and we'd love to have you out.
Awesome. Cory, why don't you tell us one more thing I wanted you to say about Facebook for just to maybe give some insight. If a lot of people use Facebook in their personal life, and they're posting pictures of their cat and their food and their meal and, look at the size of this toenail or whatever it might be. Personal stuff that probably half of it shouldn't be on there, right? But for folks that, think you want to learn more, you just recommend doing some different YouTube searches and stuff and try to learn, because the interesting thing, and I know you'll agree with this, is as soon as you think you got it figured out, like Facebook changes everything, right? It's constantly changing.
Yeah, it does change.
How do people kind of stay ahead of the curve like you?
YouTube does a pretty good job of having free information, but you have to know how to use YouTube. It's just like anything. It's just a resource, right?
Yeah.
eBay's a resource, Fiverr's a resource, all these different places that you can go and use the tool. But if you don't know how to use it, then it can potentially hurt you. So on YouTube, you want to just look at the high ratings and the most views, because more people that view that video or that have ratings on there, and you can go through and just kind of read some of the comments, you're going to be able to know if that person is saying something like, wow, this person's legit. He doesn't really have much of an agenda. He doesn't have this pompous thing going on. You just you'll feel through that. I mean, there's several of them on there that are great. So it's just an easy, free resource for you to check out. We are working on a friend of mine, Matt Andrews, and I are working on something that's called REI Sniper. That basically just because his group had interest in specifically Facebook advertising, because he already taught them how to work with Facebook, but setting up pages and whatnot, but he wasn't ever talking about the advertising part of it.
Yeah.
He thought it would work really well. So we're working on that. But right now that's really not anything that's really available. But you can just go on YouTube and type in some of these terms, find some really great videos.
Yeah.
So that'd be there. Yeah.
Probably even Facebook. Interestingly enough, I'm sure there are a ton of different Facebook groups on how to use Facebook.
Yeah.
and meetup groups. I mean, there's groups about exactly what you want to learn on that platform. Actually.
Right. Yeah. The most craziest you could ever imagine. Somebody's created a group for something that you would think is just ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Cory, if folks want to learn more about what you've got going on, or learn more about you, where do they go?
I love, first off, I'm really excited about our very first group coaching programs called Masterclass. You can just go to realestatinvestingprofits.com. Obviously, our podcast it's been something I'm excited about, and it's called Profit Masters. We're trending many times in iTunes right now. We're having a lot of people have great guests that are on the show like this.
When my episode comes out soon, I mean, it's just going to go through the roof.
It's just going to go through the roof. You're actually, we have Mike coming on about 6 or 7 weeks from now, and we're releasing a new episode every week. And really is just to give the best information out there. But we're excited about our group coaching program. So many people have asked me for that. I've only been doing one-on-one coaching. The challenge is that there's just, whenever you're doing it, you don't have ability to kind of create a way where more people can work together and scale. Like if you want to have 100 people in a group that want to learn, it's just one you, and it's really difficult to do.
Right.
So I've only had one-on-one. Now we're having our group coaching program. Super excited about that. So just go to realestateInvestingProfits.com and you'll be able to download our book. Cool. That continues to get great ratings. And you'll also check out the podcast, and just stay tuned for the group coaching called the Masterclass. We're about 85% done. Our goal is to have it released in the next 30 days.
Awesome. Well, we'll add some links for what we just talked about here down below. If anybody's listening and driving their car, instead of getting in an accident to try to write these things down, just check out flipner.com on Cory's page, and we'll have the links down below. So, Cory, as always, good to see you, my friend.
Yeah, no problem. Make sure you advertise on Facebook, man. I'm telling you, you're going to be surprised on finding buyers, finding sellers, and finding private money. It's all there.
Yep, absolutely. And for those listening, again, Cory's going to be joining us at the REI Power Summit. So check out reipowersummit.com. That's coming up here shortly. We're really excited about that. And if you're listening, I never plug our giving us ratings on iTunes, but I found myself the last couple of episodes. Please go out there and rate us. I got to try to catch up with Cory. I got to get back into new and noteworthy.
I think you got quite a few.
But and we actually, for those that are listening, if you haven't already figured this out, we actually broke apart our tips show from our kind of interview show. So it's a separate show, and if you're kind of wondering, hey, where are those tips at? They're not in the feed anymore. Well, it's actually a new show. So go subscribe to that and give us a rating there as well. So anyway, thanks for all of you that listen, and Cory, thanks so much for spending time with us today.
No problem. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Good to see you, buddy. Are you a member of flipner.com, the most robust real estate investing platform in existence, where you can find off-market wholesale deals and great vendors literally in your market? You can get access to advice from experts and learn about local clubs and events right in your backyard. If not, please visit flipner.com and register for a free account. You can register in less than a minute. It's pretty much the coolest site that's ever existed in the real estate investing industry, so get on over to flipner.com.